Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Are we having fun yet? Oh yeah. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Goloka Express. All aboard. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Prabhupada said, even if you have to be a stowaway, get on board. Like sometimes people they hop a freight truck, a freight car, a freight train. They get in the compartment where they're shipping all the products and goods. They hop in there for a free ride. So even if you have to do that, get on board. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. If you do, I'll probably meet you there. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. I tell you, this approach to Krishna consciousness, comparing it to being a stowaway or driving along in the slow lane. Krishna just shows you how powerful this Krishna consciousness is. Even the stowaway and even the cars with the blinkers on, the emergency lights blinking along in the slow lane, they're getting the mercy. I was thinking about the unfortunate situation. A man came yesterday. Hey, Madhu, Hare Krishna. Thanks for stopping by. A man came by yesterday. He answered an ad in the paper. Ad on Facebook. I'm trying to sell a cabinet I don't need. And the man was severely handicapped. Some kind of neurological problem. At first, when he got out of his car, he was staggering. And I asked him, I said, "You been drinking?" And he said, "No, I'm always like this." And he could hardly walk. And he had bruises all over him because I'm sure he falls down all the time. He was driving. Hare Krishna. He was a very nice person. He was really a nice person. But he had this severe handicap. And he didn't get the cabinet. So then I was thinking about someone who's deaf and dumb. They can't speak and they can't hear. There are people like that. So how will they take advantage of Krishna consciousness when the chanting it's really everything? Even performing deity service, if there's no chanting, it really isn't a whole lot of value there. Just waving things at the deity. The chanting, the vibration, Krishna, he's incarnated in his holy name. Deity worship was another age. It was a whole nother millennium. We have remnants of it because we need all the help we can get, and so we also combine the deity worship with the chanting, but it's really taking shelter of Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. And so I was thinking about that, and then I remember how I was also kind of looking at the plants and the trees. They can't chant either. They're living entities, but they can't chant. They can't even walk or move. So they're really, limited like that. But the way they enter into the kirtan is by echoing. In other words, they have to be near a kirtan. They have to be near the chanting so they can enter in. And they can vibrate to the kirtan. The trees, the plants, the creepers, the single-celled entities. They can vibrate to the mantra when it's being chanted, Hare Krishna. So I was thinking someone who is impaired like that, they can't speak and they can't hear, they can enter the kirtan. They can feel it. They can feel the vibration, kirtan. They can take prasadam, but they have to be near the kirtan. They can feel Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. I was going to take a look at the section in the Gita, Sankhya Yoga, specifically text 26, because a question came up yesterday about controlling the mind. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare. Just a couple more mantras to finish up the round. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Hare. It's interesting. Prabhupada would, a few times he made kind of sarcastic remarks about all the cars and the fast here and there, And I remember one comment was, you're in a car crash. It's terrible. People die. They get seriously injured or they lose their life when the car crashes. But if you're riding in a bullock cart, it's not a big deal, usually. You're riding in a bullock cart, plip-plop, plip-plop, plip-plop. So, Krishna. So there's something to be said for the slow lane, for the hay wagon, for the bullock cart. Something to be said for that mode of movement and travel. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram, Ram. I always felt I was born in the wrong age. It should have been in an age when there were like bullock carts and horse-drawn this and horse-drawn that, Hare Krishna, Hare. Well, you adapt. You have to adapt. Hare Krishna, Hare. Do the needful. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. Oh my Lord, you've made yourself so easily available in your holy name. Made yourself so easily available in your holy name. But I have no attraction for them. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama. That's because the holy names, although they appear to be free, they're actually very expensive. The holy name is freely given, but to take advantage of the holy name is very expensive. You have to pay attention. And you have to surrender some time. Pay attention and surrender some time. Invest some time So they're actually very expensive. They appear to be free, but they're not. They're freely given. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna. But then you have to pay attention and invest time. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Oh, no. I can't do that. Hare Krishna, Hare. Chant. Can't. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Actually, can't is really a play on words, because another definition of can't, when it's not, one of those words with the apostrophe T, when it's spelled C-A-N-T, actually means to chant. So when someone echoes that, you say chant, can't. It's a real play on words. Krishna's good at that, plays on words. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Krishna's good at everything. He's the best. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Ma'om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Nityanamane Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharane Nibhisesha Sunyavadi Paskachari Satarane. Well, take a look at the Gita. I want to do the whole chapter. I don't know. Let's see. Now let's just take a look at 26 and then see what else happens. Because the question came up. It was a good question. Because I was talking about how I was practicing when my mind wanders, bringing it back to Krishna, and how sometimes I was yelling at my mind, stop it, don't go there, stop that, like it was a bad child. And, but I found more effective, also with children, disciplining children, you can do no, don't do that, you can do that. But it's more effective in some ways to just redirect your activities. And instead of, no, you just redirect the activity to something more wholesome, less dangerous. So since I was doing that with my mind, no, don't do that. And I said, he's acting like a child. I have to treat it like a child. And so I redirected. Well, I'm trying to chant Hare Krishna, but I had to redirect my mind and to think of something more less selfishly sensual, shall we say, to more magnanimous and thinking of others, and then that took the pressure off. Oh yeah, that's a good idea, let's do that. So I had to redirect the mind, and then it calmed down and it didn't do anything, it just listened to the chanting. It was happy mind. So I was sharing like that, and the question came up, well, how about just letting the mind go wherever it wants to go, and then just dovetailing? Whatever it gets into, just dovetail it. My answer was, kind of like walking a dog, you can just let it go wherever it wants to go, but, get ready to pick up the poop, Maybe it's going to bite someone or, dig up someone's flower garden, and you're responsible. So it's not a really good plan, just practically speaking, and from my own experience, it's not a good plan. And it's also what Krishna doesn't say to do that. I mean, you do whatever works. If that's the best you can do, then do that. It's like, I think it's the 12th chapter, devotional service. The highest thing is always remember Krishna. If you can't do that, then cultivate knowledge. If you can't do that, then give charity. If you can't, that's not exact, but that's the idea. It's like the highest thing is just to remember Krishna. And if you can't do that, then you can do this, then you can do this other thing, and do something, So when you can't control your mind and just let it wander, and then your idea is, well, whatever it gets into, I'll dovetail for Krishna, at least it's something. But it's not a really good plan. It's not a good plan because, the mind could get into all kinds of stuff. And then you're responsible. Thinking, and then there's feeling, and then there's willing, and then there's acting. And it's really hard to stop when that's set into motion, thinking, feeling, willing, and then acting, and then you're responsible. Because, I guess this devotee's idea of what to do about the mind was something like when Prabhupada told the alcoholic, because they can't stop drinking, they're addicted. Alcoholism is a disease. The body changes. If they don't drink, they go into withdrawal. They have to be hospitalized. Sometimes they die because the chemistry of the blood and the liver, it changes from the alcohol, changes it. So it's a serious disease. It's not just a bad habit. It's a disease. So they can't stop. Well, there are ways to stop, but it has to be medically supervised. So Prabhupada said, just tell the alcoholic that the taste he's looking for is Krishna. So that's kind of like dovetailing my alcohol disease and habit, and dovetail it for Krishna. At least Krishna is in there somewhere. But that's not what Krishna advises. If you look at text 26. Hey, Yovi. Thanks for stopping in. Hare Krishna. Krishna Chaitanya. So, to deal with that devotee's question about controlling the mind and letting it go wherever it wants to go, and then just offering that to Krishna. Actually, there was another devotee who had that philosophy. We were doing some errands, and he was in. I had a van. He was in the van, and he wanted to stop at the store, so we stopped. And he went in and he got a whole bunch of candy. And he said, I know Krishna likes this candy because I like this candy. So I know Krishna likes this candy. Yeah, right. So at least Krishna's in there somewhere, but it's not the kind of practice that isn't without a lot of bangs and bruises and difficulties. Because the actual practice is here in text 26. Yato nischalati manas chanchalam astiram tatastato niyamyatad atmanyeva vasamnayet. From whatever and wherever the mind wanders, due to its flickering and unsteady nature, one must certainly withdraw it and bring it back under the control of the self. That's what Krishna recommends. He doesn't recommend, just let it go wherever it wants to go, and then whatever it ends up, whatever pile of poop it ends up in, you can offer that to Krishna. No. Whatever garbage bin it turns over and rummages through, no, you can't offer that to Krishna. That's when you start to pray to Krishna for help. So I guess it works in that sense, as long as you keep that Krishna really is the goal. But that's not what Krishna recommends. Is withdraw it, bring it back. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, bring it back to Krishna. Krishna, Krishna. He's made it so simple. It's just his name, Krishna. So simple. Prabhupada's purport. The nature of the mind is flickering and unsteady. But a self-realized yogi has to control the mind. The mind should not control him. One who controls, that's like you see a man with a dog on a leash and the dog's pulling him everywhere. Krishna. One who controls the mind, and therefore the senses as well, is called Goswami or Swami. And one who is controlled by the mind is called Godas, or servant of the senses. A Goswami knows the standard of sense happiness. A Goswami knows the standard of sense happiness. In other words, it's not just, rigid, complete, no senses, nothing, just, no. He knows what the standard of sense happiness is. In transcendental sense happiness, the senses are engaged in the service of Rishikesh, or the supreme owner of the senses. Krishna! Serving Krishna with purified senses is called Krishna consciousness. That is the way of bringing the senses under full control. What is more, that is the highest perfection of yoga practice. So that should take care of that devotee's, kind of put it into perspective of how that works. Let's look at 27. Prashanta manas amnyenam yoginam sukhamuttamam upaiti shanta rajasam brahmabhutam akalmasam. The yogi whose mind is fixed on me verily attains. Top of the hour. Krishna. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. The yogi whose mind is fixed on me verily attains the highest happiness. By virtue of his identity with Brahman, he is liberated, his mind is peaceful, his passions are quieted, and he is freed from sin. The highest happiness. Fixing the mind on Krishna. Highest happiness. This is Krishna speaking. Fix your mind on me. Krishna. The mind is peaceful, passions is quieted, is freed from sin. Short purport here. Prabhupada says, Brahmabhuta is the state of being free from material contamination and situated in the transcendental service of the Lord. Mad Bhaktim Labhate Param. Bhagavad Gita 1854. One cannot remain in the quality of Brahman, the Absolute, until one's mind is fixed on the lotus feet of the Lord. Savaimana Krishna, Krishna Padaravindayo. To be always engaged in the transcendental loving service of the Lord, or to remain in Krishna consciousness, is to be factually liberated from the mode of passion and all material contamination. One cannot remain in the quality of Brahman, the Absolute, until one's mind is fixed on the lotus feet of the Lord. Savaimana Krishna Padaravindaya. Always remain in the transcendental loving service of the Lord, or to remain in Krishna consciousness. Prabhupada just cannot not put that holy name in everything. You know, practically every purport, every commentary, you're going to find Krishna, 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 Krishna. He never avoids at every opportunity to present Krishna. Krishna, Govinda. Let's see if he does it in 28. Does he do it in 20? Uh-oh, he didn't do it in 28. He refers to the Supreme. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Oh, phew. All right, top of the hour. Time to chant. Hare Krishna. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktivinoda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama